Welcome, all you real estate gamers out there. Hope you're doing well. Today is May the 15th, 2022. It's about 7:15 here in downtown Toronto. And without wasting any time, let's get straight into the market report because I know you're hurting for it. So this week I made some further improvements to the graphs. I consolidated some and made it shorter. So this video is going to be a lot shorter now. So I hope you appreciate that. So let's take a look at the active condo listings in downtown right now. We're currently at 1,309 active listings. If you look at the distribution graph, we're actually building up inventory right now. So we actually increased 131 active listings compared to last week. So inventory is building up. If you look at the actual distribution of the properties that are currently for sale, you'll see that a majority of them are sitting at under $1 million. And you can see the bulk of it is sitting in this 600 to like this 900 range. So now let's take a look at the sales numbers of how many units that sold for the month. So April we had ended up with 567 sales, which was lower, much lower than the previous month of March, where we were at 834. For the month of May, we're only at 198 sales so far, and with 57 sold conditional. So there's a potential of only 255 units that are going to be sold for May, and we're already in the middle of May. So we might not even end up at 500 solds this month. If that's the case, it is a lot lower than the previous months. Typically, we're over 600 sales in May. This is the weekly sales distribution. So I broke that number down even further week by week. So you can see that the trend is the sales numbers are coming down. The number of units that are selling are coming down. The good news is it's not going to zero. So things are still trading on the market. So this is one of the graphs I have modified. So I combined the list price sales price ratio graph with the days on market graph. The red line is the days on market. As you can see, there is an inverse relationship. If days on markets are higher, then the list price sales price ratio is lower, and it's the other way around. So the current list price sales price ratio is 105.7%. The reason why it's still over 100% is because people are still holding back on offers, and the agents are pricing the properties lower than the current market value. I don't agree with this behavior, but this is the way it's done here, and they're just holding back. They know they're priced under, but at least they're getting showings coming through, because showings have decreased a lot during the past month. So I think this is one of their strategies to try to get people through the door, and then when they do and they're interested, they're like, no, I'm sorry, you got to pay much more money than what we're asking. The days on market right now is 13 days, and it is increasing. So I also combined the average, median, and the home price index together on one graph, so you can see everything in one shot here. The average price for May is $863,351 right now. The median price for May has dropped to $730,000, and the benchmark price for April, because this doesn't change until the end of the month, is $845,950. I'm assuming that for the month of May, this number will be down. This table breaks down for April the different unit types that sold and their average prices, median prices, list price sales price ratios, and days on market. So you can see it in more detail. And then I also did one for May currently, so you can see where the numbers are at there. And now let's get into the rental market. But if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button. We'd love to hear your comments below. So the active rental listings right now is at 1,290 units. It's actually lower than the previous month. So we had a decrease of 46 listings compared to the previous week. So the trend is that inventory is coming down. And also keep in mind that 20 Edward, Panda Condos, and 50 Power, Home and Power also are in occupancy. So typically when you get buildings that go into occupancy, you're going to start seeing an influx of more units on the market. So the inventory might go up. Here's the rental distribution of active rental listings. So you can see the majority of product is under $4,000 right now on the market for rent. So the number of units at least for April was about 2,070 units, which was a phenomenal month, very busy April. If you, again, just ignore the anomaly of COVID, you'll see that it is one of the higher numbers compared to the previous years. For the month of May right now, we're at 685 listings, but not all the numbers have been actually reported over the weekend yet. If you look at the weekly rent distribution week by week, we are seeing definitely a lot more activity in the rental market week over week. So if this continues, you're definitely going to see a shortage in the rental market, which is going to lead to price appreciation. Here's a look at the list price rent price ratio in the days on market. So right now, currently, the list price rent price ratio is just over 100%. So you can see that prices are starting to creep up, and the days on market for May is 16 days. And you look at the average and median rent prices. So the average price in May was $2,539, and the average median price in May was $2,350. So this is definitely trending upwards. It's still relatively flat, but it is starting to go up. And as we get into the hotter months of the rental market, we're going to definitely see this number climb. Now here's a breakdown table. Now here's a table of the breakdown of all the different unit types, so you can get an idea of how much rents are going for based on the specific unit type. And finally, the HPI rent ratio and the average rent ratio and the median price rent ratio. For you finance guys out there, this is kind of like the PE ratio, so you can kind of think about it that way. You know, you're going to kind of see how the investment value of condos are performing over a given period of time. And as you can see, you know, from before, they are less of an attractive investment. However, if this starts to change, we can see opportunities opening up again. Keep in mind, this does not take into consider interest rate, does not take into consideration other factors. It's strictly based on price and average rents. So the current HPI rent ratio is 3.61%. The average price rent ratio is 3.53%, and the median price rent ratio is 4.17%. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.